Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Teesside Autodrome for the 2017 British 24 Hours Kart Race. My name's Andrew Mather. Alongside me is Howard Mitchell, and we're getting ready, as well as the teams are, for what should be a fantastic 24-hour race. 65 teams across 4 classes going for glory here at Teesside Autodrome. The conditions at the moment mixed, but it looks like it's going to be a dry start to the race at 12 o'clock. Going to pass over to my colleague Howard Mitchell. Howard, first time here for the British 24 Hour. What do you think of it so far?
Absolutely. It's really, really impressive. Hello, everybody. Glad you could join us for the coverage today and going into tomorrow, of course. Yeah, it's really great. The paddock's really alive here. It's absolutely brilliant. Although I don't know at the moment whether I should have my umbrella or my sunglasses. Unfortunately, I have neither. So whatever the elements are about to do, I'm unprepared. But it's not half as bad as if you're going to try and drive a go-kart round here and the elements turn against you. So I think it's going to be an interesting start to the race. But yeah, we've got 65 karts here, 4 classes. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Really looking forward to this.
So if this is your first time watching or following the British 24 Hours, as I say, 4 classes that we need to be watching out for today. The karts behind us getting ready are karts from the 3 classes in the owner category. So these are all karts owned and prepared by the teams. We're going to be looking at the pro class, the clubman class and the rookie class for those honours today. And we've also got our BPEC hire karts class, which makes up the majority of the field, and we'll get on to them later. As I say, we're counting down now to the start of the race. We're going to have a little wander around the paddock and chat to some of the teams. They've had qualifying completed already. And Howard, run us through the results and what we saw there in that qualifying session.
Absolutely. I have them here. So we're going to have the one thing we should say right off the bat, by the way, this is going to be for the Le Mans style start that we're going to have at the beginning at about 12 o'clock today. So you got your 4 classes, and let's start off with the top class, the pro class. So these are all, this is an owner kart class. There's 3 owner kart classes. So it was the MS Soco Select team, team number 443, who got the pole with a 1 minute 13.132, and closely followed with a 1:13.157 was an MS JSR 111 on kart team. That's the 211. If you're following a particular team, good idea to get used to their kart number, because that's a very quick way of referring to it. Third place in that class is actually 4th on the grid, which is the Q Racing team, the 330 kart. Splitting those, the second and third within that, third on the grid overall is the Clubman JDR team, their pole in that class. 6th on the grid we get our rookie pole sitters, that's the 69 Cosley Cougars. Next of the, well actually then it's the pro class, the MS Lucas Racing in 5th with 420. The Clubman third place, the Clubman second place in 7th place, the T-Technics in the 79, and the 777 Clubman third place of Offline 2. Just to take you through the top 3 in the other classes, second place in rookies is 13th on the grid overall, the Giant Hornets Racing, and the Offline 3 team I'm getting here are in 14th place, the 717. And then finally you've got the higher karts, so we have to go down to 19th overall on the grid. They're about 5 seconds further back on pace. That's the Northampton Maidens, the 35 kart. This is our BPEC higher kart class. Second in that class is just next to them on 20th on the grid, Brawn Cocktails, kart number 48. And then the Modave PPS team, they are 21st on the grid in the 49.
Thank you very much, Howard.
For me reading that as they came through there, I haven't actually familiarised myself. But yeah, some really impressive lap times there. So there's going to be some rocket pace off the start, I reckon.
Absolutely. Let's go chat to some teams if Morgan follows us onto the grid. So lots of excitement building now for the start of this 2017 edition of the British 24 Hour. Ian, are we fine to go down to the front of the grid? Not too far. Okay, well, we'll start with the Hornets team. Very nice looking kart. And I'm going to talk to our friend Slavek. Slavek, come here. Let's get both of you in. Giant Hornets, qualifying. What are the hopes for this edition of the 24 Hour?
We're hoping for the top slot for our rookie class. So we're looking for that one win. Unfortunately, the rain stopped us from getting that number 1 position in group. So slightly disappointed, but no, we're fine. Callum's going to start for us, and he's going to bring us through quite well.
Good stuff. Slavek, good to see you. I don't think this is your first time here. We've been following third time here, so
on those cards,
so first time in an owner kart, third time here. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge stepping into one of the owner karts in this edition?
you know, I don't expect anything. I just want to be faster and faster every stint. So that's my goal for today, for tomorrow. Yeah. So basically, I'm just need to get used to these carts.
Well, plenty of time to do so, and as we say, the 110 Giant Hornets kart in the rookie class running very well so far. Let's try and find some more drivers on the grid. I want to talk to the kart here. So they've qualified 11th on the grid overall. Kart Force. Anyone want a quick chat for the folks at home? How are you doing? What's your name? Where you come from?
I'm Warren, one of the drivers in Kart Force 2.
So good grid slot, 11th on the grid for the start of the 24-hour. What are the hopes for the next 2 times around the clock?
Well, it's pretty crazy at the start of any race like this. So first couple of stints, keep it nice and clean, no damage. It's pretty aggressive on the curbs around here. So you know, you kind of got to just be gentle on the karts and you know get to the finish with as little hiccups along the way as possible.
Well, sounds like you've got the right strategy. Good luck for the race. We hope to see you do well because, of course, as always in endurance racing, things to do, of course, taking care of the brakes, especially round this place, and they 35 car, the Northampton opposition higher car class. We'll see them in a moment. And I've already lost Howard. I don't know where he's gone. He'll be back short. You can start to see the higher carts coming in now. And you can see these very distinctive carts with big panels. Panels. Carts out on track. I've completely lost Howard, and he's got my sheet of... There he is. He's running back towards me now. See if he's found out some more information. Howard, what do you know? What have you found out?
I've got a pole sitter for you.
Excellent. A pole sitter from the, just remind myself, the MS SoCo Select.
Hi.
Was it yourself in the kart for qualifying?
It was, yeah. It was a good qualifying. Didn't do too many laps because it rained. Probably halfway through, but managed to get a good lap in to start the dash. But they all came together well.
Yeah, obviously qualifying way doesn't really matter in the 24 hours because it's so long. But how preparation before flying into the race gone for you guys?
Yeah, the testing yesterday went really well. We had some good pace with the changing conditions, but yeah, I can't say anything bad about the team or the car. It's going to look good and reliable for 24 hours.
In terms of previous experience that you've got around here, are the things that you've learned in previous years, or what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge over today with the changeable conditions forecast?
You can never have the same 24 hours. You just have to take it as it comes, really. So take any experience that you've had from the past years. Last year was sunny all the way through, so we might have a bit of rain today. We don't know, but it can never be the same. So you've just got to go with what happens, really.
Well, best of luck. Done a good job so far. We're getting that pole position. We hope to see you at the front for at least the first parts of the race. I think that's what Howard's doing. He's going to run and grab some drivers from me. Let's have a quick chat with Team 222. Who's wanting a little chat to the folks at home? So forward. Just introduce yourselves, team name, and what's your name?
My name's Craig. We're Canterbury College, here representing the college. I've been doing this for about 15 years, endurance racing, so yeah, we're here to have a bit of fun, hopefully.
So very experienced hands at this endurance lark. I mean, how's qualifying, how's the preparation gone for this one so far?
Well, you say experienced hands, but every time we come it's a different group of guys because they're all college students. So not as we'd planned, but we're somewhere near the front and we've got some people in front of us to chase. So we're going to have some fun, hopefully.
That's definitely the most important thing. So good looking kart. Hope you guys do well. So we'll watch out for those guys from Canterbury College. We're going to move further up the grid, I think. And actually, we're going to have a quick chat with the Northampton Maidens once they've had their team photo done. So this is the team that's on pole position for the higher class. So they took pole position from Brawn Cocktails and the Modav team as well. So very much in the mix at the moment. And we'll chat to them in a moment. Looks like they've stopped having the photo now. Jess, come in. Come on. Jess, pole position in the higher class. Can't ask for much more at this stage of the race.
No, not really. Yeah, had a good quali session. We did BUKC 24 hours a couple of months ago, and so I've had a bit of practice on the track. So yeah, happened to get a bit of clear space in quali and managed to just put a couple of laps in. The guy that's doing the comms, Russell, came over the radio and I set my fastest lap, and the response was "Wow!" So yeah, it feels pretty good. It's kind of irrelevant in the 24 hours though. That's the thing. You know, being on pole over the race doesn't make that much difference. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's the best place to start. You're not going to... You get down to the first corner first and then kind of just see where it goes from there. At least the rain's gone off just now. And I'm not...
For now.
And I'm not going into the unknown down to the first corner with no idea how much grip there is, which is always fun in games. But yeah, I think it'll be okay.
You mentioned the BUKC 24 hours, which ran at this same circuit back in June. You and the Doyle's Angels team, you had a bit of bad luck on that one. What do you think is the key thing that you learnt from that race 6 weeks or so ago that you're taking into this one?
We changed a lot of things that we did in terms of being really geeky about it and quite sad in a way. Planning everything down to a T. That was the main thing we've learned, is having everything planned before the race and just knowing absolutely how we're going to do it. But yeah, it was bad luck at the 24 hours. The engine failure, there was nothing we could do about. Stub axle snap, and we think that caused the puncture as well. So there's not much we can take away from it. It's just knowing that we still have the pace and we're still fast enough that there's no reason we can't win the race. And we've got a group of the 5 of us have all been pretty quick this morning. So yeah, we'll see where we are come the race. And it's 20 hours of cruising around trying to look after the kart and then see where we are in the final 4 and properly put our foot down and see where we end up.
Good stuff. Well, good luck, Jess. Good luck to the rest of the team. And we'll chat to them surely through the race as well. Let's chat to the 48 Brawn Cocktails team. So second place in the high kart. Hello, Laura. I'm all about. I'm not too bad. Not bad qualifying for this kart.
I know. Congratulations to Luke. He qualified for us.
Let's have a chat to Luke then. Luke, are you starting the car as well? Or yeah, so Luke, second place, obviously behind the Northampton Maidens. How's preparations gone for this one? Obviously qualifying's gone well. Testing, was that good performance yesterday?
We didn't do any testing yesterday. We've done practice this morning, but practice was good. We didn't do the first 15 minutes of quali, save a bit of fuel. But then yeah, quali went well. Yeah, can't complain. Got a bit of a toe down the straight on a couple of laps. I don't think that was my fastest lap though. But I think I popped one in at the end, and then got second. So good quali. Yeah.
Good work. So I mean, these guys are talking about it being a bit of a 20-hour cruise around and then a 4-hour sprint. Is that something that maybe you're gonna do something a little bit different, put the pressure on them a little bit?
It depends. I mean, we're gonna try maybe double stinting. Whether we can do that or not, it depends. But yeah, it does seem like it's going to be a bit of a sprint at the start. Well, I don't really know, but we're going to have to run out and see how it goes in the first stint, and then plan out towards the end, I suppose.
Well, it's going to be very interesting, the higher kart class. Definitely looking forward to it. Best of luck. Hope we have a good one. I'm told to... Right. I'm going to follow Ian, so he tells me where to go. Ian, where are we going? Yes, let's have a chat with the 86 kart, which is our Race for Reuben kart. So for those perhaps not aware, Reuben Clark, little boy, sadly passed away this last week. Very sad news, but it's great to see the Race for Reuben team still here, still racing on, and we're going to have a quick chat to them. In fact, they're having pictures taken at the moment, so great to see these guys here. There's a good little moment earlier in the paddock, so we'll get a word with them. So just to run you through the top 3 on the grid in each class. So your pro grid, you've got the 443 MS SoCo Select, the 211 MS JSR, so that's your top 2, not only the pro kart class but also overall. And then the 330Q Racing in 4th. Clubman grid is the 74 Jack Dennis Racing on class pole position, the 79T Technics and the 777 offline 2. The rookie grid, the last of the owner kart classes, the number 69 Cosley Cougars on board for that one. The 110 we spoke to them earlier, the Giant Hornets Racing team, and the 717 offline 3 teams. So remember, the offline organisation have got teams in all 3 of those classes, so 1, 2 and 3 in pro, clubman and rookie. And as we said, the higher class, the Northampton Maidens, the number 35 on pole position for that one, the 48 Brawn Cocktails and the 49 Modav PPS. Let's pull in some of the guys from race 4 Rubin. I grab Ryan here. I can see his name on the back of the shirt. Rubin, absolutely fantastic to see you guys on board this event in the last week. How are we feeling before?
Long, so good things have happened. It's like I say, anything can happen in 24 hours. It's not qualifying isn't anything. It's just a tiny part of the race, but it does help, and we have done good. That's about it.
Personally, you've got much experience around Teesside before. Is this your first time, second time?
Personally, myself, I've drove a lot of laps around here, probably more than a lot most here, if I'm honest. But everyone's been practicing all week, and I've plenty of time on track, so we'll just see if it's planned out.
Who's going to be starting the car for the race? Team coming.
Well, thank you, Andrew, down on the grid. Apologies for any technical difficulties we had whilst we were down there. Just getting all the things in order here on the Alpha Live stream, which will be bringing you live coverage of the 2017 British 24 Hours here at Teesside Autodrome throughout the entire race. We're really thrilled to be able to bring you the live coverage. I will just once again to mention the sort of bullet points of qualifying. Apologies, when I first read them out, I'd just been handed them. And poles on the right here, which often confuses us when we're reading the grid. So it was the 443 MS SoCo Select, who have pole overall and indeed pole within the pro class. The 211 MS JSR 111 on kart. That's another pro kart. That's second on the grid. Third is the Clubman JDR team, and they are the highest placed Clubman kart on the grid. Then it's Q Racing, who line up fourth overall, third in pro class. Fifth on the grid is MS Lucas Racing, another pro class kart, that the 420. The 69 of Cosley Cougars is the highest placed rookie kart. That's in sixth on the grid overall. Seventh on the grid is the 79 T Technics. That's the second place Clubman kart on the grid. And then the third place Clubman kart on the grid. In eighth place is the Offline 2 777. Ninth on the grid are Offline 1 in the 770. That's another pro class kart. And 10th is Team Keen. That is a Clubman kart, the 115. Going further down the grid, second place in rookies is 13th overall on the grid, the Giant Hornets Racing. And third in the rookie class is Offline 3 in the 717. Northampton Maidens, they're your highest placed higher kart class kart. They are the number 35 and they're 19th overall. Right alongside them are the second place in higher kart class, the 48 Brawn Cocktails team. And then the third place higher kart is the Modave PPS team, 21st overall for them in the 4-9 kart. There are 65 karts on the grid, and it will be a Le Mans style start here at Teesside Autodrome. When you're watching this, really easy ways to tell some of the classes apart. The critical difference is between the hire karts and the owner karts. Now the hire karts have what's commonly referred to as the Nassau panel on the front. This is a big shield, sort of plastic shield. It's quite a distinctive look to the front of a go-kart, as some people are very happy to be on the stream there. There we go. That's a look mom, I'm on the telly moment, I think. And we have, so you'll see a big wide panel on the higher karts, and then the pro karts have the more conventional looking nose cones. You can just see there. Look at this. This is from our lovely drone shot here overlooking the circuit. So there you can see all the karts lined up ready for the off, and the paddock off to the right hand side. It is an extra. I've never been through a paddock quite like it. 65 entries, as I say, and all of them ready to contest over the next day of racing. You can sort of see perhaps that it's slightly damp in certain parts of the circuit, but it has started to dry up. But it's threatening. It's overcast at the moment. So could be an interesting start to this race. Well, no, I guarantee it will be. It's merely the nature of that interest and whether the elements play a part in it. You can see there in the background, we're in Middlesbrough, in the north of England. This is longest go-kart circuit in the world, over 2 kilometres in length, around about 2.4, and also nice and wide as well. It's actually also caters to cars, this circuit as well. So it also holds rounds of the British Drift Championship. Motorbikes also come here, and then quite a few karting series. And of course, one of the critical ones is indeed the 24-hour karting series. This is the final of the 3 events that make up the 24-hour karting series this year. We've had the Isle of Man, we've had Le Mans, and this is the final event of that. It also forms round 7 of the 11-round British Pro Kart Endurance Championship, or BPEC. You'll hear reference to that throughout the event. And as I say, really good to see a very healthy grid this year of 65 karts because of the size of the track, length, width, the lot. There's really quite a high. I'm not sure if there is an upper limit on the number of entries. I presume there would be eventually, but to have a 65 kart field, there aren't too many circuits in the UK and, to be honest, in the world that can cater to quite that many. So really good to see, and this start is going to be something quite unique, I feel. Andrew has joined me back from the grid.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Nervous down there.
I can imagine. Very nervy. I can imagine. Look at this. I love this shot. Being able to zoom out on the grid there.
But I've just been making a slow walk back, catching a few faces that I recognise. Very, very high quality field here.
Yes.
And I mean, we say in a 24-hour race always, it's nice to have pole position, but it's not absolutely essential. And I think that first 10 or 12 karts will definitely have that in their minds, because they've got themselves up at the pointy end. Yes, it's not pole position, but they're in the mix to have at least a good few first few hours. The other thing I found interesting down there was the number of drivers talking about how they're going to tackle this race in different manners. Some are going to go with the attack up front and get themselves in a good position. Some are going to take it a little bit slower and kind of leave themselves to the last 4 hours, hopefully when they're still there, to really get the hammer down and attack then. So I think that's going to be a very intriguing first part of the race.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a point. And of course, tyre management comes into races of this length and all sorts of things like that. Stint lengths and do you double stint and all of that. So it's really going to be an interesting race in that aspect.
So before we get going, we just want to show you a little VT from earlier in the day and the moment of applause that we had for Ruben, for the Race for Ruben team at the start of the day.
Now, if you've gone round, you'll see we've got Racing for Rubens on all the karts. Unfortunately, some people pass before their time. A young lad has died at 2 years old. Now, drivers, for his family, it's a tragic event. For us, we're very sad for him. But for 2 years, that person brought happiness and kindness to their life. So what I'd like you to do is just for a few moments, 1 minute, Martin will time it, it's just a clap to say well done, lad, for being there, for giving their family the joy they did for 2 years.
absolutely beautiful scenes earlier here at Teesside Autodrome. I spoke to his dad, Wayne. I've not met Wayne before. I spoke to him on the grid. Just remarkable. I can't put into words how brave Wayne and that team are being, carrying on, even in the light of Ruben's passing in the last week. And I think everyone here in this paddock wishes them well. Hope they have a good race.
Absolutely agree with that, Andrew. Absolutely very, very moving scenes. And good luck to them. Good luck to everybody, of course. But I think many people, well, everybody here will wish them all the best for the race to come.
So look at this site. 65 karts across 4 classes ready for the 2017 British 24 Hours. Le Mans style start, drivers running across to those karts, jumping in them, and then the 24 Hours will be underway. There is rain in the area. There's rain in the clouds around. It's going to be a very interesting first few hours of this 24 Hours race. And at the moment, I think it's all just going to be about keeping yourself in that race and seeing where you are probably 6 hours or so into the 24 Hours for 2017. Not long to go then. Union flag to be waved just in front of pole position to signal the start of the race any moment now.
The tension's very, very real.
It's
at
very
this
nervy
stage.
down there.
It's an old adage, but it's very true. You can't win the race in the first corner, but you definitely can lose it. And a lot of preparation and effort has gone into this moment that's about to happen here, and it's going to be something special. You can see teammates of the drivers lined up there. They're ready just to hold the karts up until the point where the driver leaps in, and then it'll be go, go, go. Now, here's the critical thing as well, of course, is if you don't get this start right, qualifying was for naught.
Yes.
Because of the nature of the start, there's a lot of variables here, such as don't trip, which is not a usual risk in motorsport.
But can happen.
Absolutely.
There was a video doing the rounds recently where of a Le Mans style start where the poor chap goes for his karts all full of gusto and kind of overshot.
I believe that was the 1 minute board there, Andrew.
Yep, so 1 minute
or
to
it might
go.
be the 2 minute board, actually. Looking at that, I can't quite make it out. Don't forget, you can interact with us by commenting on the Facebook stream, www.facebook.com/Alpha Live Production. That is Alpha with a PH. Love to have your comments as the coverage and the race go on. Just hearing 1 minute to go, Andrew.
There goes the 1
door.
minute board.
There it is. You can see the Union flag being held by Bob Pope there.
So MS Soco Select, the 443 on pole position. Alongside them on the front row of sorts, 211 MS JSR. Jack Dex Racing third, Q Racing fourth, MS Lucas fifth, Cosley Cougars sixth. But still, there's another 50-odd karts behind them that are going to be gunning for those top places in the 2017 British 24 Hours. Nervous moments now. Seconds to go before the start of this twice round-the-clock endurance race here at Teesside Autodrome. Great to have so many involved on the stream. Can see plenty of good luck messages for the different teams coming in. And mere seconds to go now. And the Union flag is up and it's down and the race is starting. And it's a good start there from the 211 MSJSR, and they go into the lead as look at this field flying through off the start finish. 65 karts across 4 classes are go for the 2017 British 24 Hours. There's already the 58 running very wide there at the back of the shot. But a good start there, Howard, for the 211 MSJSR.
Absolutely what we were talking about. Loads of variables in that kind of start, and they had a good sprint to the car, has to be said. So good start there, as you say, from the 211. That was quite a special sight, wasn't it? Seeing 65 cars bombing down to the first braking zone, and this is still a special sight. This is the back straight then and they will then go into the slalom S's, which is difficult to go through side by side, so they're all going to have to sort themselves out and play it sensible on this, the first lap of a very long race. Here they go into the slalom S's. Well, everyone sort of worked themselves out. We can see how that section of track forces them all to go just a little bit more single file. Then they go through these two hairpins and head towards what I like to think of as the parabolica here. Some people refer to it as the spoon, this long right-hander where it's basically flat out. Then they go through another two hairpins. You can see our leads are just coming out of the last of those, and then they'll go through a little quick left and right, and they'll have finished the first lap of the race.
So did notice as well towards the back of the field, we have got a few of the owner carts, the quicker carts, coming through from the back of the field, so do watch out for them.
And did I see sorry Andrew, did I see the 330 challenging the 211 for the lead there? That's a new racing car, I believe I saw into the braking zone. Now the corner that you're looking at them heading down towards now, the right-hander, that's one of the major heavy braking zones of the track. It's also quite a bumpy section. Indeed, yes. Is that a change for the lead there? I think we saw at the front of the field there. That didn't look like the 211 to me. We'll confirm it as they come round.
I think we've had a change of lead in the higher kart class as well. Looks like that's the 49 that's made its way through. That's the RKC winners. More and there you see one of the owner carts, very quick in a straight line. Mike Coppin there, I can see him, the 188. Very fast driver. Had a quick chat to him on start line before the start of this race, so expect to see him coming through the field. So that's Coppin in the 188 wildcard racing machine, run by Alan Curtis.
And our leaders already, as we saw the end of the field go through the shot on the other side of the circuit, the leaders are coming through. It wasn't 330, it's actually 33.
330.
Oh, it wasn't 330, sorry. So they're no longer the leaders of this race. I believe they briefly were on that lap. They've dropped down. So that shows you perhaps the pace difference here. You can see the split between the owner carts and the higher carts. This is down the higher kart field. You see a few owner carts still working their way up if they've had a not too brilliant start, or maybe qualifying didn't go their way. But you're seeing here the pace difference, around about 4 or 5 seconds a lap between the owner carts, who are already at the slalom S's, and the higher carts who are just working their way through what we think of as the outfield here at Teesside Autodrome. There's a national layout, which is this section we're looking at now, and then outfields, a section of circuit that's usually for cars and motorbikes, but is also used for endurance go-kart racing. So you can sort of see this is the edge of the national circuit we're looking for. In fact, the fact that they go through the left-hander you can see in shot right now, that's them going into what I always think is the outfield, the international, as opposed to the national. And here they are, here's the higher kart field coming out onto the back straight before they go through the parabola, sorry. And here's the fast, this is actually, so they start the lap by going through this hook section, quick right, left, right, and then there's this quick left-hander that's all flat out down to that heavy braking zone at the first right-hander. Brilliant to be able to give you the drone shot cameras. I didn't know we were going to have this camera, if I'm perfectly honest. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm loving this. As we look, this is the lead group at the front here.
We've also had our first contact warning of the day, so well done to Ponzi through UCK Motorsports. Great system that the guys up at Teesside have got here with Alpha Time. They can put those warnings up for you on the screen, so keep track of them, because obviously all as they start to accumulate, teams can pick up penalties. Here's your 1, 2, 3 then, which is the 443, the 211 and the 330. So the top 3 on the grid in class. Racing started 4th overall, so they've got past, they've got clear of Japanese racing JDR in the 74.
So we've already had, is it 2 changes of lead?
Yep. Are you counting?
I'm going to try and count, although I'm not sure we're actually going to be in the comms box throughout the whole 24 hours, so in no way think this is an accurate figure, but maybe we'll measure it for the first couple of hours and then times by 12. But yeah, it's already. Sorry, Andrew.
I was going to say the higher kart field is so close at this early stage of the race, but you can see the field spread. You can see the 3 leaders have just gone through the back of shot. So give it another, well, 3-4 minutes or so, and those three leaders are going to start catching these BPEC hire carts. And then the really interesting point of the race begins. At the moment, this is just a nice little sprint race to start proceedings. But once you get into that traffic, that's when the real skill of endurance racing comes to the fore.
Absolutely, and if people watching aren't familiar with endurance racing, that's in fact, here we are, the lead's already. That's those who are still fighting their way through the hire kart field. But absolutely, multi-class racing is very much endurance racing at its best, because the drivers are having to deal with all of these variables, including slower karts, who are slower purely because of the differences between the karts, not because of driver skill or anything of the sort like that. And they have to get through cleanly. There's no sort of blue flags being waved to tell the drivers to get out of the way, as you get in many sprint racing series, or certainly Formula 1. You know, it is the responsibility of the lead drivers and the drivers in the faster class cars to navigate their way cleanly and efficiently without disturbing the races of those around them.
So here's an interesting battle. The number 35 Northampton Maidens car with Jess Alexander at the wheel started in pole position, but has slipped back slightly in that class. You can see Brandon Williams, a name familiar to ourselves, involved at Alpha Live, and current championship leader down at Wilton Mill for the Northampton Karting League. He's had a good start as well. So look at this train. So you can see 35 there. Northampton Maidens have probably lost, I'd say, about 6 or 7 positions off their starting position at the front of this class.
And this is what we expect from the hire kart field, and they're going to be. It's going to be a very, very close class. These karts all race prepared by people in BPEC, and so they are all going to be very even. And so this kind of close quarter racing is what we would expect, particularly during this early phase of the race. It will of course spread out as various dramas befall all of the competitors. Different drivers, different pace, different strategies. There will inevitably, these are very well prepared karts, but there will inevitably be, in a field this big for 24 hours, there will inevitably be some kind of technical gremlins that we see. It's all got to play out, but everyone's here chasing exactly the same glory. And as we've already discussed today, Andrew, there are people here who are racing for a whole host of reasons. Some people will be definitely going to win. Some people are happy to be here just to race and just to get to the finish. Everyone's got their own story. That's what I love about this type of racing as well, is that getting to the end of it, getting through it in of itself is a challenge. And so it means that it's a very emotive form of racing almost, and that's what makes it special.
So the ever long train of hire carts is starting to fracture, but there are the leaders. Right, here we go then. So the top three are now making their way through the traffic. They've just taken the fifth. Look at the speed that they've got in a straight line, and especially through here, Howard. That's going to be really, really tricky as the race goes on and the drivers get tired. They did it very, very well that time, both the drivers in these top three karts and those being overtaken. But that's going to give us some interesting moments through the next 23 hours and 51 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst we were talking about how it's the leader's responsibility of the drivers in the faster karts to get through here cleanly and efficiently, it is also the job of the traffic to be sensible, as we've got a problem here already for the number 12.
This is the BBS kart. Sorry, team name changed to Team OSMR. I've seen in my notes here. A little spin there at hairpin 1. So the leaders through that first part of the field in the hire kart class. As we say, there's I think about 40 of these hire karts. So we're going to be busy overtaking them pretty much from now up to the end of the race. Yes, the field will start to spread out a bit, but they're going to be needing to be on their toes throughout. Around this brilliant corner at the top of the circuit. Doesn't look it on screen, but there's a bit of a banking there. You can
hook the drivers round. And then into that hard braking zone. And you'll see quite a few of the drivers taking an initial wide line. There's a couple of bumps round here that from experience need to take care of and probably miss, especially as at this stage of the race most teams are going to be taking care of the cars. No point wrecking the cart at this stage of the race for the sake of a couple of hundredths here and there for a better line. Here we are then back with our leading trio, and it's still the 4-4-3, the MS SoCo Select, run by Howard Lucas, leading the race as they have done from pole position, bar a couple of changes here and there. The 34 there, they're running well, the Skotec Racing team. And hand up there for the 111, that's a problem. That looks like a problem there for the 111. So our first casualty of sorts, the Not Scared team. Sensibly, that's good driving there from the driver of the 111, not wanting to go through those fast chicanes with an issue, letting the field go through. So these top three of MS SoCo Select in the 443, Q Racing in the 330 from 4th place up to from the start, and the number 211 of MSJSR working well together at the moment, which is what they need to do. Start on down towards one of the trickiest corners there. You see that bump on corner entry. Very tricky corner, can easily unsettle the karts. Interesting to see them taking that line that early on. Clearly they're going for out-and-out pace through that particular corner. Hard on the drivers' bodies. And the karts, of course, no suspension on these. Much difference in a road car, that part of the course. It's just something that the drivers are going to have to deal with. Closing in now on some of the quicker, at this stage of the race at least, quicker higher karts. That's Tom Thickpenny we can see there as well. It's British University's karting land. Good to see so many BUKC drivers. Good to see so many young drivers in that respect here this weekend. But Tom running well there in the 34 Skotec Racing machine.
So we're already coming up to 15 minutes into this race, and yes, if you're not, as I say, if you don't watch a lot of endurance racing, bear in mind that there is absolutely no point in attempting this sort of kind of Bandai overtaking you at this stage, so a lot of cars choosing to hold station. That's why we're not seeing, although the leaders are extremely close, they're still just biding their time. In fact, you can see some gestures there from the drivers indicating to people around them, let's work together. And indeed, the leaders now are coming up to the absolute fastest cars within the higher car class. And they've come round the final hairpin through the S's. I always feel it's the best name for them, but to call them a hairpin I always feel does them an injustice. They're actually they have quite a quick apex speed for a hairpin. You don't really have to brake for sort of second one of each pair. Two pairs of hairpins around the circuit. Once you've gone around the first one of each of those, you don't really have to slow down for the second.
But it's an interesting one, that second hairpin. Incredibly crucial for your run all the way round the kind of parabolic speed curve before the driver in second place. Oh, we should say as well, sorry, I've not noted that Q Racing have taken the lead of the race, so I'll be back down to lead change Howard.
Yep, so through the traffic. And speaking of the traffic, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, now for all of the higher car class. So they've now got past the higher car, which is currently
48.
it is the 48.
That's the Brawn Cocktails team, run by Julie List. And, they started second in that class. And just to go back to that second hairpin, Howard, so not this part of the circuit that they're coming through now. But let's go on that round Teesside. So coming down into the half-track part of the circuit, it is very tricky right after they go up over the hill to a tricky little chicane and will re-emerge this long drag as we pick up the lead again. Another lead change. That looks like one of the MS cars has gone back through.
I think that's the
443. Through these very fast chicanes, then hard on the brakes here. Hard through hairpin one. And this is the corner I'm talking about, Howard. Really crucial to be nice and steady through here, because if you scrub the speed, you're now losing along this part of the track just so much time. If you get all out of shape and squirrely and start overdriving through that hairpin, if you carry that all the way to from this point here that the 74 is going through now, all the way round this top corner here, because this is all flat out, and then to that next braking zone that I think we're going to call hairpin 3. So it's a very, very crucial corner on this circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. There are several parts of this lap where it's really important to hook those corners up. The hook, which begins the lap indeed, is very important to get that right. Very easy when drivers get tired, psychologically tired, to get that corner a little bit off. So it's yes. Now going back to what you were saying about the change of lead, I think I now being curious for the old stats on that front. Now I'm going to record it as a change of lead because they've crossed the line.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to have a whole week here. So I'm interested in the cars, right? No, here we go. So and look at this. Look at the traffic. Really, this is powerful, and you can see there the cars that got bulked by the high cars, the 149 going into the start of this. You can see how he's had to drop back. So this is the point. It is partially luck of the draw as to when you come upon this traffic, and then he's now worked his way. Good driving actually to wait. As we can see, I heard you right, Andrew. That is top tick Penny Stanley, I reckon.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. If not, I think they need to have a chat about making their helmets more distinctive. But yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to follow up the thing about that. You mentioned earlier that the 48 was the current leader in the higher cards, and then on my timing screen over here, they dropped down a lap. But as far as I'm aware, the 48 is still the leader there. They would have had to run into some drama to not be our leaders, so I'm going to hold on to them as our leaders at the moment. So let's talk about pit stops.
Yep.
Obviously, a crucial part of this type of racing. They're going to, at some point, at various points, probably around about. I mean, for the higher carts, Andrew, it's going to be. How many stops? 14? 12? No, fewer than that, probably. It's the carts can do around about an hour and a half to an hour and 45. And so every time that happens, they're going to have to pull in to refuel, whether they want to do a driver change or not. And Andrew is just going out and being weatherman, I believe. We're right next to the pit lane here, so we'll be able to see the carts coming in and hear them if there's anything wrong with them.
It is.
It is raining.
That's not an optical illusion. It's
no,
just
that is
starting
rain.
to
You
spit
can see
with
it
rain.
on the camera. And I'm guessing, Andrew, that when you can see it spitting on the camera, it actually means it's coming down slightly heavier.
Yes.
Because the camera can be slightly deceptive in that sense. And these carts are on slicks, remember? At least they certainly all are at the moment. So,
at the moment, lap time's not
you
suffering.
can really see it's coming down now, Andrew. I think we are about to see that if the times weren't suffering before, I feel like they are about to.
I've just seen Wildcard Racing, the 188, come through with a 116 there. Best, that's a good second off their fastest time. And yes, it's definitely starting to have an effect now. The lap times are starting to drop. The karts coming through at the moment are about a second off their best pace and make that, well, for the leader at least, a 113.9 last time around for MS Soko Select, the 443, and that's, well, that's 1.6 seconds there or thereabouts off their fastest lap so far. So here's our first bit of drama then in the 2017 British 24 Hours. The rain here at Teesside Autodrome has arrived. We had a little bit of rain in qualifying earlier, then it dried up for the start of this race. But just 21 minutes then into this twice round the clock adventure. Here is the big challenge, the first big challenge for the teams. How are they going to deal with this rain?
Just as that drama's beginning, I do want to talk about how we're following the timings, because you can do it as well if you're following along with the live stream and you've got a spare screen to put something else on. Head over to live.alphatiming.co.uk/Teesside, that's TEESSIDE, and there you'll find all of the live timing for the event throughout. Even if disaster struck and the live stream ran into difficulties, you can still follow things in the timings. And if the timings go down, you can follow us here. Not that they will. But if you've got those two separate sources of information, the things you can see there, you can also see warnings and penalties being handed out down the right-hand side. And what's really good is in the top right-hand corner of the page, as well as the clock, to show you how much further there is to go in the race, you've got the driver tracker, a map of the circuit showing where people are on track. And if you're looking at it going, well, Howard, it's just 65 dots going around the track, how am I supposed to track the teams I am interested in? Well, if you click on the position number next to a kart that you're interested in, so if you're interested in following the fortunes of the kart currently sat in 4th place, click on the number 4 to represent the 4th place next to them, and they will highlight up blue. Click it again and they will highlight red. So if you want to highlight 2 karts at the same time, click on one once and one twice, and it will highlight blue, one will highlight red, and then if you click again, it will deselect them. Just to note, if you click on the 4th place position, you are not always following the kart in 4th place. So if you're following the kart currently in 4th place, so if they then got demoted to 5th, you'd still remain highlighting that kart rather than changing over to the other person in 4th place. I'm not sure if I've explained that too well. The point is you click on the position, but you are following that kart. So if the number, I don't know, 6 were in 4th, and you click on 4th place, you will follow the fortunes of the number 6, even if it drops out of 4th place. There you go, that was a better way. So the rain coming down now, you can see it, and this circuit definitely wide enough to try out some different lines as and when the weather gets worse. Now, Andrew, you and I haven't been to the British 24 Hours before, but we have been to the sort of cousin of this event, I suppose one could say, the BUKC 24 Hours, the British Universities Karting Championship, and there we have had rain before. Indeed, we've had stoppages due to rain before. Back in 2015, I believe, we had stoppages due to rain. Has to get quite a bit worse than this before that's under consideration. And also, we reduce distances. Obviously, the overall race distance will get affected by this kind of thing.
Now, the weather at the moment on the radar that I'm looking at looks to be coming in from the west, and some of it does look quite heavy, I must say. So, in fact, not from the west, more northwest, down from Newcastle. But no, it looks like we could have some very patchy showers, sharp showers in the next hour or so. So we'll keep you posted with that one. But yes, you're right, Howard. As I say, we saw that event 2 years ago where parts of the track, especially around start-finish, around the chicane, you can see in the back of shot now became flooded, and someone, we won't mention who it was, had a bit of a spin through there, I remember on the restart, did a full 360, made a big massive splash that I saw from the pit lane. The water went that far. As I say, we won't mention who it was.
I heard that he was a really nice guy though, Andrew. Really, just a thoroughly nice, rather intelligent young man there, who did that spin. Managed to recover it with a full 360 as well.
It's like, yes, he recovered it with style, but was a bit of a plonker in the first place to have it occur to him. Anyway, here comes the hire karts through. I can see that front group there. Brandon Williams in the white suit going for a move up the inside. Didn't quite catch which driver that was on. But I think this is where we start to see, maybe, as the field starts to spread apart, some of the methodologies of the drivers start to change. Some of them starting to attack this course a little bit. Lap times seem to be holding relatively steady at the moment. As I say, I think this could be the story of the next few hours, is these little showers, sharp in nature, but this track can dry up quite quickly, especially on this top half of the circuit. You can start to see on the left